Bulls Nation, the Chicago Bulls players, the new Chicago Bulls players, did some interviews with some of the reporters from the Chicago Bulls and elsewhere, of course, and it had a lot of positive things to say about the Chicago Bulls, and silly me, being from Australia, I was unable to watch this at the live time, but I did get to watch it, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope all of you got to watch it as well, and I want to discuss some of the things that they've talked about. Lonzo Ball, Demar DeRozan, Alex Caruso. I want to discuss what they've said in this video. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today, we've got a Chicago Bulls related video referring to the interviews that our new players in Lonzo Ball, Demar DeRozan, and Alex Caruso, the interviews that they had and the positive things they've had to say, and just overall the impact that we made on them wanting to join the Chicago Bulls, and just how the tides have changed from when we first experienced what it was like to sign a big player from free agency. It seems like there is a shift in the gear, and maybe we will get bigger and better free agents going forward, and that's what you love to see. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls players' interviews. There are three to discuss, obviously, as I mentioned, and I want to talk a little bit about Lonzo Ball's first. Lonzo Ball was a very intriguing interview, probably the most interesting out of all of them, I would say, because he did feel truly appreciative of the Chicago Bulls, something that you don't really see a lot. You see people talk highly about the Chicago Bulls. You see that we do very well on occasion to make players feel welcome and appreciated. But with Lonzo Ball, he demonstrated that in his interview. He said that he wanted to play for Chicago because he wanted a team that wanted Lonzo Ball for Lonzo Ball. He wanted to feel appreciated, and the Chicago Bulls did a fantastic job in making Lonzo Ball feel appreciated and valued, and wants to play his style of basketball, which intrigued him very, very well. And that's the best thing you could ask for at the end of the day with the Chicago Bulls, and the whole point in the free agency discussions and trying to get players to come to this team. You want them to feel like there's something worth coming to this team for. You want to make them feel that their game is going to really reflect in this team, and you want them to feel appreciated. That's what all players want at the end of the day. Yes, money is a great thing, and money will definitely be a driving factor in a lot of players' moves, and I think DeMar DeRozan is part of that as well. But when you feel appreciated and you feel like your game will mean so much to a team, you want to be part of that organization. You want to be part of a game-changing team. And Lonzo Ball is a part of that. And him discussing that, him vocalizing that he felt appreciated by the Chicago Bulls and he wanted to play for a team that wanted him for him. It's a joy to see the Chicago Bulls were able to pull this off. Were able to make Lonzo Ball feel part of a very good and special moment with the Chicago Bulls. Very interesting. I'm very, very happy. He also discussed about how his game could really help this team. He talked about playing for the Pelicans and how every single year it was different, which means for the Chicago Bulls, he's going to bring different aspects of his game from the from 3-and-D to playmaker and all of these things. He's going to be able to bring that to the Chicago Bulls, which is obviously nice to see. He talked about his relationship with Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso and Lonzo Ball were former teammates. He discussed how good of a friendship that they had and how he really appreciates Alex Caruso's game and the dirty work that he'll do. He obviously talked about Zach LaVine in the UCLA days and the recruitment from there, and they had a good relationship ever since. And he's excited to play with these guys, and he thinks that there's going to be a good connection between everyone on this team. That's what Lonzo Ball said in a nutshell, and it was a really good interview, probably the most intriguing one that I've seen from the Chicago Bulls, and it truly felt like he was grateful to be here. It truly felt like he wanted to play here. And again, it's impactful what he said. It really hit me. He wanted to be appreciated. At the end of the day, the Pelicans used him in all sorts of ways, and that does make a player feel appreciated, but it also kind of negates them from being themselves, and that is obviously conflicting. And he said he wished it could have worked out for the Pelicans, but everything happens for a reason, and now he's a Chicago Bull. He's happy to be a Chicago Bull. He's expressed that numerous times, and I'm happy for him to be a Chicago Bull. It's a very good relationship that the fans and Lonzo Ball will probably have coming up into this upcoming season. I hope the United Center makes him feel very special when he plays for the Chicago Bulls, as I'm sure they will. Our fans never let us down. Next up, I'm going to talk about Alex Caruso's interview. Alex Caruso's interview was more about the Lakers, to be honest, than about the Chicago Bulls. They were discussing what it was like to playing with LeBron. Obviously, the relationship with Lonzo Ball was another question asked, and he said that they didn't really get an opportunity to play together. It was either one or the other because he was on a two-way contract, and anytime Lonzo or someone else got hurt, Alex Caruso would step in, and that's fair enough. That's pretty much the truth. He said that he feels like he could bring a lot to this team. He feels like he's going to be a player that never wants to give up on a play. He has a little bit of an arrogance about him, which is something I didn't know too much about. And I do mean that in a positive light. He said himself, he has this belief that he can stop any opponent, and he has a belief in every play. And that's arrogance, man. And that's what you like. You like a player with a little bit of swag and a little bit of confidence in himself. And he definitely showed that in this interview. He seems truly confident about himself. He said he gives 100% of effort whether he's in a rec center game, a pro-am game, or obviously a regular season game, a preseason game. He gives 100% effort. He plays with every possession on the line. And he also feels he's diverse. He feels like he can do a lot of things on the court, offensively and defensively. And again, it's a beautiful thing to see. Alex Caruso, in my opinion, he looked very happy as well when discussing about the Chicago Bulls. And he's definitely someone I can't wait to see become truly effective. I feel like he's going to have a very big role on this team compared to what it was like with the Lakers. And if you want to mention what he said about the Lakers, he said he's going to miss throwing lobs to LeBron. Hopefully he can throw lobs to Levine, throw lobs to DeMar, throw lobs to Kobe White, anybody. Just throw a lob to anybody. I'm sure some of our players, Patrick Williams, I'm sure we have some beautiful lob connections going on for the Chicago Bulls, and that's obviously going to be good to see. In other areas as well, he said the Lakers had a winning organization. Everyone was really close in that situation, and he's gonna want to bring that into this team and a winning culture into this team. This is all about establishing a winning culture. Alex Caruso is a known winner in the NBA. Yes, he played a role on the bench of the LA Lakers, and he wasn't the main guy, but he was definitely a very impactful player for them, and he's bringing that mentality to us, and hopefully that brings that winning mentality alongside of it. And that's really everything I've remembered from Alex Caruso's interview, and I can't wait to see him as well. Again, a really exciting player coming off of our bench, and he's going to have a big responsibility on this team to lead our bench, and I think he needs to step up a lot more than what you saw on the Lakers. And if he can do that, then I'm sure that contract will be very much worth his while. And Demar DeRozan talked about a lot of things. His interview was quite long. They were discussing his relationship with the Chicago Bulls. They were talking about the naysayers. The most important thing about the naysayers, he said, and this really got me as well, he said, it's not about proving the naysayers wrong, it's about proving myself right. It's about proving to myself every day I go onto this court that I can show value to a team and I can show what I'm worth. That is amazing. That is beautiful. And again, these type of quotes really get to me. I like when quotes like this come out, and he's banking on himself more than trying to prove people wrong. He truly knows what he can bring to a team. He thinks and he believes he could be what Chris Paul was to the Phoenix Suns. He said he could be that leader, and that experience goes a long way. And I hope that's the case. I'm not going to put any limitations on what we could do. I'm not going to say he will or he won't be, but if he can do that, that's all the more fantastic in my opinion, to know that we're going to have a player that can lead us to very good situations in the NBA. He talked about how his veteran leadership, or his leadership and his experience, can help the young guys, giving advice to the young guys, making sure that everybody on this team can feel accustomed to him. He also talked about how he doesn't really care about the fit of a team. If everybody wants to win, the fit will come together nicely. And hopefully we can see that in action, because this team should be winning games with the roster that we have. And hopefully we can see that. Hopefully we can see the gellingness of this team by everybody wanting to win on this team. He talked about his relationship with Vucevic. He knows how badly he wants to win. He said he was a big fan of Lonzo Ball, and he loves the fact that he's going to become what he wants to be as a player. Obviously, he said he has huge respect for Zach, and the Olympic experience will do wonders for him. And the fact that Mark Eversley was a big part of enticing DeMar DeRozan to come to the Chicago Bulls. And it was already enticing. And he said the Chicago Bulls was always in his top 5. I would have loved to know if it was first at any stage, except for the last stage, obviously, when he picked us. But it's really nice. This is a really nice thing to see, really nice things to talk about. He spoke highly of the organization, he spoke highly of our history, and he spoke highly about wanting to bring historic moments back into the United Center, back into Chicago, back into this city, back into this team. And we do have a very interesting team now. This, in my opinion, is the best team that we've had since the Derrick Rose era, where we had Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, Luol Deng. Even if you want to go a little bit further than that, when you had Pau Gasol on this team and Joakim Noah, Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler. We have a very good team here. And that team, I think, can really match up with the other team that we had. Obviously, Derrick Rose in his prime was a monster. But I think all the way around, this team can win games. This team can do very, very well. At its peak, we could be an incredible team. And obviously, at our lowest, we will still have a lot of work to do. But we'll wait and see. This is a beautiful moment, and that's all I'm going to talk about in terms of the DeMar DeRozan interview. So these are all the interviews that we had. The Lonzo Ball interview, the Alex Caruso interview, and the DeMar DeRozan interview. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Once again, if I've missed anything or you want me to, or even if you want to watch it yourself, if you haven't watched it already, it's been, I think, a day now since we've discussed any videos, and a day since they've done the interview. It's been a little bit under a day, so I'm sure you guys have watched it. But if you haven't, I'll leave the links in the description. If I remember, I'll be sure to do that. So check the description and you can watch the interviews for all of them, and you'll get to see what I've been talking about and even more. You're going to see a lot more in those interviews than what I've talked about. These are the things I've remembered, and I thought that was very important to share. And let me know in the comments below what you guys think about every single one of these players and their interviews for this team. They made me very excited, and I'm very happy to see what we're going to see going forward. We have a very interesting team, the funnest team we've had in years, and hopefully that will result in big wins for our team and our franchise. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. I'll see you in another video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.